Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. I hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far, and while we are still trying to process the madness that was yesterday's Call of Duty action, the timeline has been absolutely on fire. With Seattle Surge taking the scalps that they have, many people questioning, and for good reason indeed, the validity of online play, and still, one more day here with this all tournament of LAN with fans. It's absolutely beautiful stuff. Very much intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you were new as always, I greatly appreciate it. Really upset the channel, thank you very much indeed for doing that, and of course, yesterday, Classic had a monster series against FaZe. 1 point, like, 1.5 odd KD, 100 plus kills. So not something you see every day from Classic. One of the best series he's had in, honestly, years at this point. It's remarkable to see. And well, the difference there between that series and what he's been doing online was pretty stark. Even though then he did play OpTic and he dropped a 0.7. And I'm pretty sure the last LAN event he played at stage 4, he also had a 0.7. But still, the potential to go off in a series like that is not something we've seen from Classic online. And well, serious questions being raised as a result. Let's talk then about the final series of yesterday. That was Minnesota Rokkr versus Toronto Ultra. This was an incredible series. This game one was ridiculous, and fair play to Standy, right? Because there's been some discussion about players that, okay, let's say you're relatively new to the scene, you don't have too much LAN experience in front of fans, right? And okay, would you crumble under the pressure? Standy, certainly someone who didn't do that. He finishes off this first game on a 5 streak to win a checkmate hardpoint, where, okay, Rokkr have been pretty good as of late, but also on such a good map for Ultra, right? So I was just really impressed by how Rokkr played right here, and it's so rare that Ultra get blown out in a series. Like, okay, this was a 3-0, but it wasn't incredibly close, obviously. It's never going to be close in terms of the individual maps, but Ultra usually always win 1 or 2 maps, so they always take it to distance. This series, it didn't happen, and Rokkr honestly win it relatively comfortably in the end. This game was pretty ridiculous, but MajorManiak was making plays. He goes 11 in 5 to help them close out this search and destroy, and then it goes to a game 3, a garrison control, where, I mean, Toronto Ultra have been so good at this map. Cammy made an incredible play, to be honest, to keep them alive in the round, but they close out their final defense. There was only a few lives left. I'm pretty sure they had 4 lives. Toronto had way more lives than that, but they clutch up on their defense. They the only 3 of the day was this final series of the winners finals, and that is Minnesota Rokkr. I mean, what a run they've made. They beat Atlanta FaZe first up, then they beat the Dallas Empire, the 2 reigning champions from last time, then they beat Toronto Ultra, and now they find themselves in the grand finals guaranteed. A best of 9 awaits them today, but who will face them? We'll see how the matches are lining up here in just a couple of seconds, but yeah, incredible series, to be honest, to see Rokkr do this. Really happy for the guys, and well, they have a chance to actually win a tournament, especially with FaZe out, and with FaZe obviously not looking so good. Certainly, that's a storyline to discuss in the coming days. Opportunity beckons for the 4 teams that made it all the way to the championship Sunday. As Scroat says right here, pretty mind-blowing stuff. Ultra go down 3-0, and Rokkr on an absolute tear right now. Who really can look past them for this tournament victory? But there were some other phenomenal series yesterday, no doubt about it. OpTic Chicago take down Seattle Surge in the end, and it was cool to see, the green wall back in force on LAN right here. There were so many people in the venue. It was honestly fantastic to see. And well, we see Scump in a second right here, talking about the enjoyment of playing in front of fans once again, and well, that could be a pretty important factor when we go here into this championship Sunday. Certainly OpTic versus Dallas is going to be spicy, no doubt, right? Crimsix on the main stage versus the other guys with all the fans in attendance. It does not get too much better than that, let's just say this. And Alex says this from the CDL side. With that victory against Seattle, Subliners are now locked into the 5th seed, I'm pretty sure, and OpTic Chicago locked into that 4th seed with the victory. So they'll play Subliners win round 1 of the playoff. Dallas need to outplace Toronto to steal that 2nd seed away from the Ultra, because there's only a few points in it right now, especially with Empire's victory against Ultra just well, not long ago, and that 2nd seed is pretty important. So Dallas have a lot to play for in this series. OpTic gets less to play for in terms of champ seeding, but of course still a lot to play for in terms of actually trying to win this tournament. As Scump says, man, playing in front of the crowd again, it's absolutely different. The arena was jumping, no doubt about that. And let's talk about this then, right? So SlasheR, of course, so far, well, when he's played on LAN as of late on Los Angeles Thieves, they didn't have the result they wanted. They lost to Dallas in the end, but I'm pretty sure every single series that SlasheR's played on LAN, he's dropped like a 1.1 or better. So this guy certainly has turned it around since coming back, well, to this arena. And well, as he says right here, GG's Dallas, wow, did it feel good to have a fair chance to compete. It's been, what, 2 years now? It's almost like I know what I'm talking about and I'm way better on LAN. Put some respect on my name. As Powers says, we know you're a beast, brother. Team results may not always change. When people try and spread the false narrative of online equals LAN, it can really mess with some players' careers when this is a common misconception that is widely adopted. Kill it at champs. Appreciate it. Yeah, mind blown, I was on the bench, lol, because of course he got benched earlier this season during the online stuff. People were damn near calling for me to retire. I'm one of the best of all time. I will continue to be until I feel like I am done, period. Always back up my talk, says SlasheR. Most certainly his method says, but online is pretty much the same as that these days. Absolute moron, says SlasheR in the reply with it when this whole stuff was going down when Seattle looks so much better obviously on this LAN situation. Sometimes teams catch fire. This is why we love a LAN environment, right? It does make things different to online. And of course, online has got better the last couple of years in the sense that the teams are playing on proper servers and they're all in relatively close vicinity. But of course, it's no substitute substitute for a good old LAN environment as well, SlasheR and the rest of the guys are talking about right here. And also this from SlasheR, we talked about this tweet a few days ago. Now we're looking at Nicky D, that being classic right on LAN, just doing phenomenal things up against the Atlanta FaZe, which you do not see every single day, no doubt about it. And of course, well, this as a result. Every team should be a champs, and nobody should start in losers. If the season was entirely on LAN, then that's a different story. We talked about this discussion a while ago, but it certainly comes back into the fore right now, with Seattle Surge having such a great result as they did, and Los Angeles Thieves, I guess, looking somewhat better here, right? They get relatively unfortunate, you could argue, losing to Dallas in the fashion they did. They threw a couple of those maps away, no doubt about it. So yeah, if the season was entirely on LAN, a different story for sure, but the fact that, well, it goes from online to a LAN environment now, Seattle Surge not making it, Los Angeles Thieves starting in the losers bracket, just crazy to think that Seattle, they look so good, they look like honestly a contender for winning the entire thing this past weekend, and they're not even going to be at the World Championship, right? Serious questions to be raised on exactly, well, whether that should be the case, and what you could do about it from a format perspective, and the frustrations as well from the pro players going out, going out with not necessarily a whimper in a way, like they obviously had a phenomenal series, but going out without even getting to see them at the World Championship is something I think pretty disappointing, and certainly something that CoD needs to think about in terms of the format that they want to go with for future seasons. But yeah, honestly, just incredible scenes right here. I think there's even like a delay, some weird stuff going on. I think this is because the casters are at home. I just don't understand why the casters have to be at home, because I'm pretty sure the guys in the venue, if you guys were there, like let me know in the comments. But it looked like right here that the reaction from the players on stage was earlier than what we actually saw on the screen. So I don't know if they're just watching the live stream or something. Like you can see what happens right here with the FaZe guys. Like Simp puts his head on his hands, like they've already lost at this point. Like you can see right here, they've already lost, the headset's off, but there's still the final kills are coming through on the main screen. So like I don't understand how this isn't in sync or whatever, but you know, it's just CDL will be CDL, baby. But as JB Chris says right here, in that series, they were not only playing as well as the two underdogs, but also playing to prove that every team should at least have a chance of making it to the World Championship. Now the fact of the matter is, Los Angeles Guerrillas have been terrible no matter what. So it's like, okay, do I really want to see them at champs? No, but maybe like a last chance qualifier or something between those bottom teams could be a good idea. As Doug says, Seattle winning both hardpoints versus FaZe on LAN just goes to show you these past 2 years of online CoD have been absolutely chalked. Well, as Classic says right here, you know, arguably the worst player in the online stage 5, top frag in every map versus FaZe. This guy's out of control, as meme CDL suggests. So look, bottom 14 playing for the World Championship, you know, can't believe they beat FaZe and won't even get a chance to do something, looking at one of the best hardpoint teams in the game, right, winning 4 hardpoints in a row against FaZe and OpTic. That is not something you expected to see out of the Seattle Surge, and this is what some of the guys over there have to say. As Octane says, look, go ahead and tell me online CoD is even real. I am begging. Like online CoD is just straight up fake for the last couple of seasons, and now this is where we get the proper environment. And this is my hope, really, like my real. I'm still concerned, right, that going into next season, the CDL will be like, well, hang on a second here, lads. Doing this online league as we did actually saved us a lot of money. Let's just continue it for next year. The players, well, I'm sure there'd be a lot of outrage if that was the case, especially seeing some of the results that we have seen at this past weekend. As Octane says, like, I want to play more CoD in front of a crowd, right? Want to go to the World Championship and play on the main stage in front of the crowd. Not going to happen, unfortunately, because well, Seattle Surge did not make it. And it's not like they're necessarily deserving in the sense that they were just completely awful the entire season, and they could have done better, right? Like at the end of the day, if you're, you know, rock bottom in the league, now they're actually not rock bottom anymore because of the good results that they had at this major. I think they're like sitting up in the 9th or something now, but still way behind where they would have been able to get to the World Championship. I understand that the importance of the season, but at the same time, when you do turn up massively like this on LAN as they did at the Stage 4 major and then the Stage 5 major, and looking like, well, easily a top 8 team in the game, and now you don't even get to go. Like, Seattle could have made the run and won this entire tournament and still not got to champs, right? Which is kind of a crazy thing to consider, especially because of these differences that we're seeing between LAN and online play. You've got to think that, well, something should maybe be done about that in the future, and well, hopefully, if everything's on LAN going forwards, then this will no longer be a concern. As well, Octane says right here, because as well, there has been some discussion, look, after this great result that Seattle had, like, what do they do with their roster, right? Do they completely split it apart? Do the players go elsewhere? Do they decide to keep some of the players? I'm pretty sure that Seattle, like, as a management and organization, had already just decided to just, well, I don't know, like, bin not everyone off, but they'd already basically decided the team's choice, okay, what are we going to do next season? Let's consider some options right here. But well, all of a sudden there's some discussion like, no, we run it back for sure, says Octane to Joey Nubsy, saying that, okay, what do you do with Seattle next season, right? Do you keep a couple of the pieces now they look so much better on LAN? But what if next season, like the online regular season is still online, right? We don't even know if that's going to be the case. Therefore, you might not want to do that. And well, as Octane says right here, made prize money this year, guys. Didn't get fined. We call that a W season. Catch catch me in the OpTic mosh pit tomorrow, double fisting brewskis, flicking off the camera, and then only one of those things will be true. And well, as he says, I don't know whether to be happy or annoyed the way we played, because of course they played phenomenally. Just really makes me think like what could have been the case if well this entire season had been on LAN. You could argue GG's OpTic heartbroken. We threw so hard. I don't know where I go from here. It says Prestinni, so whether he'll be on CDL next season, whether he'll be on another team, they certainly proved that these guys can be great players in a LAN environment once again, which of course is going to be a pretty big thing for some of these rosters going into next season. Of course, some people are saying that they still don't deserve to be a champs. They've well, they played all the entire season online, so they should have done better, which is, you know, also kind of a fair point. But you know, why are you so quiet? What is on your mind? We really watched fake online Call of Duty for the last couple of seasons, says Crone. Let's talk about then what the bracket is going to be looking like. Here we go. So what a bracket it has turned out to be. Atlanta FaZe nowhere to be seen here, losing to Seattle Surge yesterday to finish top 8 in the tournament. OpTic Chicago got the job done in a game 5 against Seattle, so ending their run, and they will move on to play the Dallas Empire. This is honestly pretty incredible. I thought this might be the matchup we could see in the winners final. Instead, it's in the losers semi-final. One of these teams will go out of the tournament. Well, the crowd is going to be absolutely rowdy for this, no doubt. Crim is going to be on a mad one, and a lot on the line really right here, because Empire need to come through, and they need to beat OpTic, they need to beat Ultra to get the second seed and get the other bye for the World Championship that FaZe also have. But OpTic also a lot on the line here. This seems like their chance. We talked about it coming into this weekend. This seems like their chance to finally get over line and win a major, or at least, and you know, this is the bracket to do it in, right? With teams playing as they are right now, who knows what can happen? Any team can upset any team, it seems. Expect the unexpected, as Standy said just the other day. So first up, Empire versus OpTic. I think this is going to be a banger. I'm expecting a game 5 here. I think that OpTic might just take it. I was impressed the fact that they were able to win the 2 Search and Destroys up against Seattle Surge, and I'm going to do it in a 2-3-5 in that sense. I don't see them losing both hard points here to Empire, so I think a game 5, I think the crowd might help OpTic just get over line, but it's going to be a mad one, no doubt. Then they play Toronto Ultra, and I don't really know what to say here, because the other day, like, they got completely outplayed in the Search and Destroys. Have OpTic gone back to the drawing board, really watch those VODs, and get the job done here again? I think that, you know, it's a tough one to say. I think that Ultra could once again take this series 3-2, but I'd like to see, you know, I predicted coming into the weekend on the Breaking Boy podcast that OpTic were going to find a way to the grand finals here. I think maybe I predicted them to play FaZe in the grand finals, but well, let's just go with that. They're going to beat Empire game 5, they're going to beat Ultra somehow game 5, or maybe game 4 or something, I don't really know. They did get 3-0, that being the Ultra by Rokkr just yesterday, and then a best of 9 finals or something, which is pretty much impossible to call. Search and Destroy and Control are going to be the key game modes, no doubt about it, but very much intrigued to get your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. A great day of Call of Duty awaits, I'm sure, and many storylines to dive into over the coming days. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm. I know you enjoyed this content. Other people like you may enjoy this content as well, and I've grown the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you much as always, take care, and I will see you next time.